Welcome to Sports and Songs. I'm your host, Dan. We've got a special episode today based on the 2020 Amateur Baseball State Tournament preview. It's going to be kicking off here tomorrow night. Today's preview is being recorded on August 20th on a Thursday. I'll be going through the Class C brackets for the listeners and with a special focus on the Crow River Valley. Sports and Songs is the fastest growing podcast in all of Western Carver County. So we're going to focus on the 4 teams that are being sent to state from Region 7C. That's the Crow River Valley League. So let's get started with the preview here. Total number of teams that made it. On the left, you can see the 16 regions or sections they are called, and then how many teams qualify for state from those sections. Some sections it's 2, some sections it's 3, and in some cases it's 4. Grand total of 48. 48 teams make the state tournament. Now I've got the teams listed in left to right, the order of finish. The first team listed for each section is the section champion. They will receive a bye in the first round. So those 16 teams will receive a bye. They will not play this weekend. They will begin play next weekend. So essentially the games this weekend is one game Friday at Springfield and Milroy. They're the hosts here. Springfield and Milroy are hosting. One game apiece on Friday night. That's a 7:30 start. Each location will have 4 games on Saturday and 3 games on Sunday. This is, in many cases, the best weekend in amateur baseball. You're going to see some quality teams here. Because it's single elimination, you lose, your season is done. Here's the way the brackets are. I'm going to break the brackets down into 4s, 1/4 at a time here. Leading off, it's Midway versus Lake Henry. That's a Saturday start. On the far left here, you see which region they're from, 14 in the case of Midway. And letter B represents that they finished second in their region. They're taking on Lake Henry. Section 15, letter D means they finished in 4th place. It lists the date, time, and the location. Second game, Cannon Falls against Waconia. Third game, Foley versus Hanska. And the 4th game, Buffalo versus Fort Ripley. Now on the right-hand side, you'll see the teams that advance, who they will already be playing. On the top there is 6A Jordan, currently ranked number 1 in the state. They're the defending champions. They are going to be tough to beat. But look right beneath them, Fairmont. Fairmont's ranked number 8 in the state. Down below there, the next team with the bye is New Prague. And finally, the last team with a bye is Morris. Now Morris will have a bye and will most likely face Buffalo. My lock for this bracket, Dan's lock, is Buffalo to win the first round here. They should win easily. They're ranked number 4 in the state of Minnesota. They're taking on the 4th best team, Fort Ripley, out of Region D. And so I'm guessing Buffalo should win and probably even win that next game the following Sunday versus Morris. Like I said, the top section of this is Jordan and Fairmont, both teams ranked in the top 10. There's another team ranked in the top 10 in the state. Saturday's game features Cannon Falls at Waconia. Waconia is rated number 5 in the state. So of the top 10 teams ranked in the state, there's 4 in this first top quadrant. This is the toughest bracket for Class C right here. Once again, my lock is Buffalo. Second bracket, we get Watertown facing Red Wing. The winner of that will face Isanti. Starbuck versus Cold Spring. The winner of that will face Buckman. The Buckman Billy Goats, ranked number 3 in the state of Minnesota in the final rankings for Class C. They're always tough. The Buckman Billy Goats. New Ulm versus Prior Lake. The winner to play Kimball. And then Alexandria versus Maple Lake. Winner will play Bemidji. Bemidji's ranked number 7 in the state. The only 2 teams here ranked in this quadrant in the top 10 are Buckman number 3, Bemidji number 7. We won't see those teams play until the following weekend. Here's my lock for the week. The lock, Watertown versus Red Wing. Watertown Red Devils. At the top is the Dan lock for the opening weekend. Let's move to bracket 3. Watkins versus Howard Lake. Next game is Dilworth versus St. Clair. Avon taking on Union Hill. Mora taking on Laverne. In this bracket, Watkins at the very top. Watkins is my lock. The Dan lock for this bracket is Watkins at the top. They're ranked number 6 in the state. They lost in the final game in regions. They should have won that and would have received a bye, but instead they're playing in the opening round. They are ranked number 6 in the state. This is the only team in this whole quadrant that's even ranked in the state. One could argue this as being the easiest of the 4 brackets for Class C. I think Watkins will win that first round, possibly even win their next game. In bracket 4, the final bracket, Gaylord will face St. Martin. Now, Gaylord's interesting. Gaylord is a very interesting team here. They come out of the tough Region 6 bracket. That includes Jordan, that's ranked number 1 in the state. Gaylord finished 2nd. Gaylord's the only team that has a player that's a current professional Major League signed player. They've got Brody Rodning, drafted by the Blue Jays a couple of years ago. Played for Mankato State University Mavericks before then. He is in Class A baseball for Toronto. Their minor league season was shut down. Players in the minor leagues, if they wanted to, and if they received the okay from the team, are allowed to play amateur baseball here in the summertime to get some extra work in. Brody did that. Here's a picture of Brody pitching for the Lansing Lugnuts in Class A, drafted by the Blue Jays. He's working his way up. He will be a tough competitor on the mound, especially in this opening game where they don't play again this week. They'll be able to use him as their starting pitcher. He'll be playing for Gaylord Islanders in the state tournament. He'll be someone to watch, and I think that's the reason that Gaylord will be tough here. Gaylord in this final quadrant bracket is my lock for the week. They'll be taking on a St. Martin team that is the 3rd best in that section. That's a 5 o'clock game in Milroy. So Gaylord's my lock for the week. The winner will play Sartell. Now Sartell is ranked number 2 in the entire state of Minnesota. That will be a good matchup the following weekend to watch. Other games this week, Hadley versus Randall, St. Patrick versus Regal, Clinton taking on Carver. Winner of Gaylord and St. Martin will take on Springfield at the top. Hadley and Randall, the winner will take on Bluffton. Bluffton, the champion out of Region 14. St. Patrick and Regal will play The winner will take on the Rochester Roadrunners. Rochester Roadrunners. And then Clinton and Carver, the winner will take on Delano. Now, Delano is ranked number 9 in the state. They are tied with the number 9 ranking with St. Patrick. St. Patrick will be playing that first round. I didn't want to give the lock to St. Patrick this week because I feel Gaylord has a chance to really win easy over St. Martin. But St. Patrick is always tough in the state tournament. The team then will go on and face Rochester, which I think St. Patrick has a chance of beating Rochester in that second round. So Gaylord's the lock for this bracket. We've got a tough bracket here, second toughest bracket in the state tournament for Class C. You've got teams like St. Patrick, Delano is ranked 9th, Sartell is ranked 2nd, and Gaylord has a pro ball player on their squad, the only one in the state that has that. And that's why I think that they are going to be tough. We're focusing on the Crow River Valley for this episode, Class C Crow River. Here's the games that feature the 3 Crow River teams. Waconia will be playing Cannon Falls at Springfield on Saturday, 5 p.m. match. Watertown will be taking on Red Wing. That game will be played at Milroy at 8 o'clock Saturday, and Carver will be taking on Clinton. Clinton at Springfield, 2 p.m. on Sunday. Young America is not listed. They won the region. They will receive a bye, and they have the weekend off. Now, Carver is interesting. They made it to state last year and had a no-hitter going into the opening frame of the 7th inning and ended up getting beat. I think it was by Laverne. Laverne beat Carver, and Carver was up with a no-hitter going by pitcher Andrew Weber into the 7th inning. They got into the bullpen and ended up losing. Carver was sent home after the very first game. Clinton has not been in the state tournament for a while, so that'll be exciting for them. But Carver's always tough. That's another tough matchup there. Carver's got some good players. Now the draftees. Crow River League. Once the final game is done, each team is able to pick the 3 draftees they want to go with for the postseason for the state tournament. It's 3 players. They have to be pitchers, and they have to be on a team that's been eliminated already. Young America, 4th straight year going to state. They picked up Christian Johnson. Christian Johnson plays for Gustavus. He's a college player at Gustavus. And also plays, I believe, in the Northwoods League. He's a tough pitcher. They later got Tanner Lubke out of Cologne and Pat Regan out of Green Isle. Interesting thing is here, Young America's been to the state 4 straight years, so their roster is filled with people with experience in the state. And then they pick up 3 pitchers with experience in the state from last year as well. Cologne made it to state last year out of this region. And both Christian Johnson and Tanner Lubke were on that squad. So they are familiar with the state setting. Also, Green Isle made the state tournament last year with pitcher Pat Regan. He'll be back. So their entire roster, as far as I know, are familiar with the state tournament and were involved last year. So they're a veteran team, are not ranked. Personally, I feel they should be in the top 10 in the state. That's a team to watch. Watertown finished number 2. Their last appearance in state was 2008. Interesting thing here for Watertown. The Red Devils are tough, but they've never made it to state since 2008. So they drafted Ryan Grams from Brownton, who actually played in the state last year for Carver. He was drafted by Carver. Carver went to the state. They drafted Ryan Grams. So Ryan Grams has some experience at the state. They also picked up Dawson Hensley out of Hamburg and Spencer Nelson. Spencer Nelson was drafted last year and went to state in a Cologne uniform. So 2 out of the 3 have experience at the state level with being in the state last year. Now Watertown has 2 pitchers that are very good. Pat Cheetah Last year played in the state after being drafted by Young America. Pat Cheetah's pitcher and a center fielder. Very good hitter as well. Made the all-decade team in the Crow River Valley. He was going to be playing for Watertown this year. He has experience, plenty of experience at the state. Also, Zach Eiton, drafted by Cologne. He's a pitcher out of St. Cloud. He's a St. Cloud Husky college pitcher. Zach Eiton was drafted by Cologne last year, and so he's got experience at state. But I think it drops off after that for Watertown. Waconia, the number 3 seed. They made the state in 2018. Didn't last year. But it wasn't because they were that good. They were the number 1 team last year in the Crow River Valley. And got eliminated with an illegal roster player and didn't advance in the playoffs, wasn't allowed to play in the playoffs, and wasn't allowed to have anyone drafted for the state tournament last year. So they're going fresh here in 2020. They made 3 draft picks. Jace Luna. Jace Luna was playing for Cologne this year. He plays for Gustavus currently in college. Also the Mankato Moondogs in the Northwoods League. Mitchell Pinsky, drafted out of Plato, will also come on to pitch. And they used their final pick on picking up Carter Clemenson, also for Cologne. Cologne, as you can tell, was stacked with pitching, as 5 pitchers from Cologne were drafted for the postseason, and the team themselves didn't even make it. Carter Clemenson is going to be playing for Waconia. He played in this last season. He played with Cologne. Cologne advanced to the state last year, so Carter Clemenson's got some experience there. Carter Clemenson also plays for Gustavus. Also plays for Gustavus, and also plays for the Mankato Moondogs in the Northwoods League. So Carter Clemenson and Jace Luna, both teammates during the summer season in Cologne. Both play for Gustavus at school, and both play for the Mankato Moondogs. Waconia, already good in their pitching depth, picked up these 3. They're going to be tough. But they're in that tough quadrant where they got to face Fairmont in the very next game, and possibly Jordan after that. Waconia's got their work cut out for them. Carver's the number 4 seed. Carver, 4th straight year in the state for the Black Sox. Here's who they picked up. Torben Erdahl, once again, out of Cologne. He was in the state last year. He's got some experience with state tournament. He also pitches for Gustavus Adolphus. They went next and picked up Brady Jenkins, pitcher out of Winstead, and Will Horneman, Hamburg. Now the reason Carver's tough, they acquired Jay Bresnahan from Hamburg last year and had him on the team all year. Jay Bresnahan was the batting champion, won the batting title for the Crow River Valley League in 2020. Key asset, great pickup there. They got Bresnahan, who also pitches. So they've already got him on the lineup. He won the batting title. Carver's also got Andrew Weber, who was the pitcher of the year in the Crow River Valley League in the year 2019. And you can't forget, they also have Kyle Dalton, Crow River Valley batting title champion in the year 2018, league MVP in 2017, put in some fantastic years for St. Paul Concordia in college. Those are the teams. That's the schedule. These games will be broadcast on prep45.com. That's the channel that does the high school sports. Because of the COVID pandemic, they're only limiting 250 fans for each game. So if you can't make it, can't get in with the tickets, certainly watch the games at home. If you pay for the service, you can also watch them whenever you want. You can purchase that particular game, go back and watch it later that day. You do not have to watch it live. You own that, the broadcast. You own the that game that you purchased. It's $6.99 for an individual game. You can go on the state website to find that. You can also buy a package, I think, for $25 for an entire weekend, or $35 for the entire tournament. Once again, this is Dan for Sports and Songs. Special episode today, the 2020 Amateur Baseball State Tournament Preview, focusing on Class C, with a special emphasis on the local Crow River Valley teams. Should be fun. Hope to see you out there.